Higher tax burden dragged Godfrey Phillips' earnings in the fourth quarter. Lower volumes hit the top line. The maker of the Marlboro cigarette brand in India took a price hike of 6 to 8% and cut advertising spends by nearly 12% to protect the margins. And that was the only silver lining, or that was one silver lining in the company's financials. Let's analyze these numbers in greater detail and understand how the company plans to deal with, one, higher taxes, and two, arguably, maybe demand issues as well. Mr. KK Modi is president at Godfrey Phillips India, joins us right now on the show with his thoughts on business by and large for the industry and for his company. Mr. Modi, good having you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us. While I know revenues are not strictly comparable with the base quarter, but if you include the taxes in the previous quarter numbers and this quarter numbers as well, despite that, you would agree that the volumes and consequently the revenues have looked a bit soft this quarter.
Well, these are marginal changes in the volume in cigarette industry. Over the year, I think the total industry had declined by 4%. Number of cigarettes the Indian industry has sold officially, because the total volume include also illicit cigarettes which come into the market, which are around 25% of the market.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but your gross revenues, despite the price hikes and inclusive of taxes, I'm not excluding the taxes because otherwise the net sales look down 38%, but inclusive of taxes, there is a 9.3% drop, if my numbers are not wrong. So 1460 versus 1610. What led to this performance?
These are mostly correction of stocks, but the market share this year of GPI has gone up, and it is steady. So I don't think actual sales volume is different.
Okay.
It's similar to last year.
Okay. So, so then how would you sum up the year? Flat volumes, but your market share has moved up. Is it because the other companies have lost market share by and large? Because if you on a flat volume base are increasing market share, surely somebody is lost out market share due to lower volumes. So therefore, how does the industry look like in FY18 and how does the industry look like in FY19?
FY18, the industry dropped by about 4%, and that is why we have gained market share, even though we are flat. And 19, maybe the industry may be more or less flat. There may not be any decline.
Okay. And in such a scenario, how would Godfrey Phillips as a company do? I'll come to the quarter as well. I want to talk about profitability, but I just want to get a volume sense and the revenue sense, Mr. Modi. How do you think you as a company will do in FY19 in an otherwise flat year for the industry?
I think our volume will go up slightly, not too much, in single digit, and we will be in line with the result of the rest of the industry.
Why would this be happening? Is it this conscious call by residents in the country to reduce smoking? Because otherwise, cigarettes used to be a sunrise industry. A lot of your marquee brands hitherto have always done well. Why is it that 2 years in a row or maybe longer, the industry volumes are looking stagnant?
Because of the illicit cigarettes. There is a very big import of the non-duty paid goods into the market. Euromonitor estimates the market is about 1/4, which is not official, which is either made into small companies in India or imported.
Okay. We wanted to ask you about...
So the tax-paid cigarettes are flat.
Okay. And we actually wanted to ask you about what the impact of GST and cess has been on prices and on volumes as well.
Well, there has been a slight increase in prices because of the duty increases, but not very significant.
Okay. What about your brands? Last that I know, I mean, your prices and on separate brands as well, because Cavender's prices were hiked by about 6%. I believe Marlboro were about 8% odd. And the last known hike to us was in December. Have there been any more price hikes post that? And would you look to do some price hikes in FY19?
No. Well, FY19, there will be some price adjustment, but not very significant. It depends upon whether the government changes the tax or not. If taxes remain stable, prices will also remain stable.
But you don't foresee...
So industry is not going to increase prices.
Okay. So you don't foresee increased prices. Okay. In which case, sir, may I ask you, how would you look to, one, invest, if at all, into enhanced distribution, and two, what would a company like yours do on the cost front? If prices are not going to go up, would you believe margins will remain stable, or due to increased distribution there could be enhanced costs and therefore there could be some pressure on the margins?
No, I think margin will remain stable. We believe 2019 will be a better year than last year.
On what parameters, sir? I mean, volumes will remain flat, so that is done. But what would be better in 2019?
No, there will. Well, one, Marlboro is growing, and our premium brand is Marlboro. And we hope that other brand, Foursquare, Red and White, and Cavender's will also gain market share.
Okay. What would be your current market share, sir? And what do you expect it to be at the end of, say, FY19?
Well, our market share will be slightly higher than 12%.
Currently?
Yeah, but the difference between the market share now and market share end of the year may not very dramatically change, but there will be no decline. There will be growth.
The conversation, Mr. Modi, seems to suggest to me that you are looking like a company which is looking to consolidate at these levels and not really trying to go out and grow meaningfully. Is it because of the way the industry dynamics right now are, because of the illicit cigarettes, etc., or would you look to change that at some point of time over the next couple of years? Does Godfrey Phillips as a company get into a high growth mode at any point of time in the next 2 or 3 years?
Yes, as we are not present in whole of India, we are only selling approximately in 40% of India. We are looking to geographical expansion, and it is just starting. We are introducing our products in South India where we are not present. So if we get a good reception there, then the growth area will be there.
Okay, but that won't happen in 2019 necessarily. It probably happen in FY20, I would reckon, because FY19 you are guiding to flat volumes.
Well, not flat, but slight increase.
Okay. Fair call. Mr. Modi, we wish you all the best for the year at large. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today.